Kahaloyim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Waharakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well over the flock. Shalom to all you brothers that's pushing the words of truth and sincerity, and shalom to all the elect, Akim and the Aqua, Israelite foreigners. Shalom. Just kind of going off of the head today. Serious times, prophecies coming to pass. I guess I'll just go into a few prophecies or articles. See what I can find, scrolling real quick. Yeah, we don't always have something locked and loaded to go into, but yet, we know that the Lord's going to give us something. So more importantly, as the phrase goes around GMS, hit the button. Just hit the button. Let's see here. Elon bans youth attracted people flag. Leftists outraged. Youth attracted people flag. Good. All right. It says Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupus wrote on her Twitter account, Elon Musk suspended the person who made a pedophilia flag. Well done, Elon. She posted the article and the account got suspended. The person who put up the article, whose account got suspended, his name is Zeb Demon. He has 2,300 followers. He said, I figured why not use today to unveil the YAP, Youth Attracted Person Pride flag I designed almost a year ago. I wanted to stray from the oft used horizontal bars motif, but only a little. I wanted to retain some familiarity. Elon Musk retweeted and not tolerated on this platform. Let's see what some of the comment section says. Somebody said, if there's a sign of a Edomite holding up a sign that says, if pedophilia is just sexuality, then burying them all is just gardening. Yeah, man, we in some turbulent, strange, sodomitish times infinity. And the scriptures forewarned us that these days will come. See, pedophilia, which is a word that means, pedo means child, phil means love, is an old concept. This is an old concept going back to the ancient Greeks. You could even say before then, but it was popularized in this culture to this day by the ancient Greeks. When you watch the movie 300, he's calls the Spartans called the Greeks boy lovers. Boy lovers. What did that mean? That means they like to molest little children, especially boys. Somebody put a fact from the CDC.gov. What is the molestation rate in the U.S.? Although estimates vary across studies, the research shows about 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 13 boys in the United States experience child sexual abuse. Somebody said in Canada, the rate is like 120 per 100,000 at the highest. So something about America. America is a haven for adult evil urges, evil adults with unnatural urges to molest children, and they're trying to become popularized right in front of our face. Calling them youth attracted people, man. So bear with me. First scripture that comes to mind Bear with me. Because, the scriptures talk about the condemnation of an entire city, cities that gave heed to their lustful ways and sexual immoral ways, and how the Lord destroyed it. Let's get Genesis 19:1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed around the house round about, both old and the young, all the people from every quarter. This is talking about the men, the Sodomite men, and the men of all these cities round about, because they saw the young men enter into Lot's house. And they came from everywhere surrounding Lot's house. What do you think they were surrounding the house for? To ask some questions and play Scrabble all night? Verse 5. And they called Lot unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them unto us, that we may know them. And I believe the other versions illicitly say that we may have sex with them, if you look at some of the other versions. Verse 6. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Lot's just pleading with them not to be such devils and heathens, and it says, Behold, now I have two daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for there came they under the shadow of my roof. Lot's pleading with the men of Sodom not to have sex with them. This is the unnatural urges. So if it got that bad in Sodom and Gomorrah, where you couldn't bring a man over, men to your house as guests, without the whole entire city surrounding the house, so that the men can come out and they can have sex with them. If that's how bad it got in Sodom, why do you think America is likened unto the spiritual version of Sodom? Revelations 8 and 11. And they said, verse 9, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now we will deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. So they were going to break the door open. This whole idea of peaceful homosexuals is not a realistic idea, because when they get full access to what they really want, and they're led by their lustful desires, whatever they may be, at whatever hour, however filthy, however wicked, however abominable, when you're completely given over to that reprobate mind and you do things unseemly, you're possessed at that point by that wicked, filthy demon that causes you to lust after other men. Even men who want nothing to do with you. Sick, as these men did, pushing upon the door, about to break the door down so that they can have sex with these two guests, who happen to be angels, by the way. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So here you have it. The angels had to do a miracle just to get these men off of them, off of Lot. It says a lot about the lust and the evil desire of those people of Sodom. In America is 10 times worse, because in America they're changing the gender. They're going farther to stitch up post-ops, pre-ops, changing the trying to change the DNA, changing the sex of a baby. America is even that much greater of evil going on now. And this is all prophesied because in the book of First Maccabees, it tells you that when the Greeks came into power under Alexander the Great, that wickedness multiplied in the earth. How come it multiplied when the Greeks, the Edomites, came into power? You mean the Babylonians weren't wicked? You mean wickedness didn't multiply under Xerxes and Artaxerxes and Cyrus? There were wickedness, but wickedness didn't multiply like it did until the Greeks came into power, and Antiochus Epiphanes, and then you had the Roman emperor with Caligula marrying horses, and all of the pedophilia, all of the worshiping, different deities, and sexual fantasies of the nobility preying upon children. It reached all times. And to this day, Greeks is known for that culture. But it goes back into this place here, Sodom. Right? A city, 5 cities gathered together on the same vibration in the Middle East, where men would try to break down doors to have sex with men, and when offered virgins, they would deny that. And then as I read on, and they smote them, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. Here it is, they're blind, and they still are trying to desperately find that door. If that's not a demon, if this LG blank blank is not a demon, what isn't? What is? Where the idea is to, even in blindness, continue to grope for a door so that maybe you can have a chance to penetrate somebody's male guests. Sickness. Verse 12, and the men said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law? And thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord. Do you hear that? At the behest of the angels, it was given to Lot a message that this place would be destroyed. The cry and the wickedness has gone up so great that the Lord will allow it to be decimated and desecrated off the earth. It goes on, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. So those angels gave charge and was given authority over the destruction of these cities, and came to let Lot know that his faith is, all right, his faith is what, why he's given a heads up. Verse 14, and Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. So they laughed at him. Once again, it's written throughout the scriptures, whenever the prophets would speak, they would have their words in derision. They would talk about violence, and then they would hold them in derision, meaning they would make fun of them. They would mock them, mocking the words, mocking the warnings. All right, mocking those dangers that are to come. Verse 15, and when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and sent him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither lay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. So they asked him to flee to the city, and he requested that he can flee to us. They asked him to flee to the mountains. He requested that he would die in the mountains, and something evil might overtake him in the mountains. Let him escape to a different city. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore the name of this city was called Zoar. The sun was risen upon this earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities, that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from the behind, and she became a pillar of salt. Scriptures tell you in Luke and the gospel, remember Lot's wife. She looked back, all right, as if she left something behind that she desired to go back. She misses something, or she wanted to see the destruction, or she just didn't have enough faith. She wasn't sound enough. You have to be able to listen, and you have to be able to follow direction. No matter how much you desire, and that invisible demon pulls on your shirt to make you look back and to make you want to rejoin with the world, you have to deny the world continually. Even though that Satan taps on your shoulder to get you to look back, you have to deny the world, lest you become figuratively a pillar of salt. Verse 27, and Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when Yahweh destroyed the cities of the plain, that Yahweh remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. So there you have it. Call Loyim Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Lord willing, we can see the value in how the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and the value in knowing that the Lord has a boiling point, and he's a wrathful power, and he will destroy this kingdom eventually, because of the wickedness has reached up to his ears. And there's witchcraft here, there's sodomy here, there's bestiality here, there's pedophilia here, there's theft here, there's robbery, there's adultery, there's all of the things that the Lord hates. Proud looks, proud hearts, stiff necks. These are the things, just a few to name, that the Lord will destroy America for. So I brought this out. This video is edifying, and until next time, Shalom.